And we're live.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Prague. This is broadcasted live, so if you are just tuning in, you will see a one-shot video as me and Honza will show you pretty much the last day of restrictions here in Prague due to the whole crisis we're all witnessing. What we're saying is not from the experts' point of view. In other words, the crisis as in the health may still continue, but we're talking about, for example, restaurants are now opened almost fully, and tomorrow everything will reopen as in hotels, restaurants, etc. We will get to borders in a minute. And also we will be able to take off our masks starting tomorrow, but still keep social distancing. So today I will put it on and off, partially still violating the rule, but it's only 4 hours till I can take this off. So please be kind to me, don't send cops to us. I'm sure somebody will do it now. We're on the Old Town Square, and I can tell you what has changed here already. The prices have dropped that you cannot imagine. All these restaurants used to be very popular only among foreign tourists, and now they're popular among Czech tourists because you can actually buy a beer for a third or a quarter of the price what it used to be. So a beer used to be like 8 euros, and now you can get it for 2. I kid you not. The astronomical clock, usually not this empty, and let's take a walk. We're connected via a wire through the magic of internet. This is where the internet goes. No, that's just my sound. I hope you can hear me loud and clear. And it's the biggest difference is mostly it's Czechs here now. So you see families with kids. Today's Sunday, so usually you will see little kids with their parents with backpacks that came to Prague for a weekend to experience it. All the signs now are in Czech, which is very different. The people luring you into restaurants speak Czech to you. They usually say, you know, in Czech, come on, have a meal. Right behind you is a pizza place that used to sell pizza for 400 crowns, and now it's down to what, 180? Half the price. All these prices will most likely be gone, and they will get back to normal as foreign tourists will get back here. But don't worry, Honest Guide will once again step in and show you tricks and tips on how to move around and be in Prague without, you know, going into like too much touristy locations. As we approach the little square, Malé náměstí, that is already now prepared with all the restaurant gardens and patios. And once again, as I mentioned, you can get a beer for 49 crowns. I've actually tried many of the places because I've never been in them. And I will tell you later which ones were good. There was actually a restaurant right by the Charles Bridge where I've walked past with Honza Wood a million times. We would never set our foot in because it was, you know, very pricey, and usually only foreign tourists were there. And now it was just me and my buddy having a lunch, goulash. I'll show you later. Come on. Yes, there will be a Q&A. So if you're posting questions right now, please stick with us till the end of the walk. I promise you it will be a short walk. And if you've been to Prague, you probably recognize these places, but they still look a bit different. If you're planning to go to Prague, we will also tell you the updates on how borders will reopen and so on. I mean, as much as we know. But it still amazes us, right, Honza? I was just a couple days ago in a pub in here. That was very nice. But here you go, most of the stores can be opened now, but most of them are closed. The reason is that most of them sell goods only, once again, for foreign tourists. So sometimes they open, but they usually don't remain open for too long because the demand is simply zero. There's not too many Czechs that want to buy Czech crystal. But the demand that remains, believe it or not, is demand for trdelník. Even Czech tourists love trdelník. They have new special prices, 20% discount, but they're still open, and they have these red lines on the sidewalk where you should wait in the line, so you keep social distancing while waiting for a trdelník. I kind of love that. This, I believe, is called Fat Cat Brewery. Never been, because they were pricey on the beer, but I've been here just a couple days ago. I was sitting here having a beer, and it was absolutely great. The waiter was amazing, and for me to sit here on this intersection and have a beer was absolutely amazing. So big thumbs up for them. And once again, I hope the prices will not go immediately back up. I hope they will keep them down a little so the locals can still enjoy their city a bit. We're in the Karlova Street, which is the Royal Way of Prague, connecting Old Town Square with the Prague Castle. Don't worry, we will not go all the way to the Prague Castle. Dobrý den. Zdravíčko. I was just talking about you on our video, how great your beer was. Yes.
Why?
Because it was good. And it was my first time being there.
Thank you very much.
And you can watch this live, guys, if you want. We're actually streaming live. Have a good one. Bye. See, I told you. A little, yes, it is. This is the funniest about Prague. The downtown became a village. You can experience it for yourself if you're in Prague. You'll find us very shortly across the bridge, drinking a beer, talking with most of the locals, which is just, amazing. This store has its window already broken twice. I don't know what's going on here. So this is a store that was selling handbags that ran out of business. There's actually 4 of these on the Royal Way of Prague. So it's kind of understandable because you only have a limited amount of Czechs that want to buy a purse that live here. So the demand was too high for that. I mean, the offer, the demand was low. First of all, I'm not good with English, and second of all, I really suck with other stuff. Yes, ATM, I can show you that. This is, oh wow, this has been partially destroyed. Oh, this is funny. ATMs were turned off. These Euronet ATMs, most of them that we'll see along the way are turned off because simply they were targeting at foreign tourists. And when the tourists are gone, they turned off. And these are candies from other bank that is their competitor, which is pretty funny. But they also, pretty much all the ATMs are tricky when you withdraw. You always want to decline conversion. I believe that bank does it as well. All of the banks do it. So be very careful when withdrawing. We gotta watch out here. This street, this is something you don't care about. It changed directions while it was closed during quarantine times. Yes, it used to be that way, now it's that way. See, I told you about wow, somebody was really mad here. This wasn't happening. So we're making a little turn into Karlova. See, it's funny how when there were people, I would never ride a bicycle here or ride one of these electric scooters. But now when there's no people, suddenly, or there's very few people, you can manage to get along with bikes, cars, pedestrians. But when it was full of pedestrians, obviously you couldn't ride a bike. I've rode my bike many times across the Charles Bridge. It is illegal. I loved it. It was amazing. You can check out my Instagram. I took a picture of Rekolo. This place used to be our infamous exchange office that we were fighting against. We were showing and we were trying to make them famous. You can watch the whole series about it. It changed into ice cream place. And whenever I go by, the lady always goes, "Would you like an ice cream?" in Czech, which is kind of nice. And we walked in with Hans and we said, "We're very familiar with this place." She goes, "Really?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Somebody just sent us 30 crowns to buy ice cream.
I don't know.
We're not good.
I've never seen this.
We're not good with this YouTube stuff. Hello, hello, hello. The place that never opened during quarantine was unfortunately Café Damu. I don't know why. Maybe it's because it's attached to the school. So we'll see. I hope they will survive. Many other places are shut. We were always showing these little mini markets. And right now they can be open, just, legally all these places can be opened. The reason they were shut was because they were only selling overpriced goods for tourists. Ne, kluci, ne, prosím, ne, prosím, protože já vysílám živě, aby hrozně bych se styděl, nezlobte se, jo? Ne, tak pryč, jdou po nás. Ciao. They wanted to talk, and we're live, so I would be so shy. There's another ATM that's turned off. The funny thing here is that they're fixing the street, and they didn't even build like a little bridge to it. They were just like, well, there's an ATM that's off. Why would we build a bridge to it? This is what I was talking about. Ahoj. This would be unimaginable during normal times. I also said ahoj, which was unpolite. I should have said dobrý den. Should I walk faster? Oh, normally, yeah, there would be thousands of people.
We just received 100 rubles.
Oh, lovely. Here's
We
a
should probably
I should. Oh, don't send us money. Please don't send us money. Thank you to whoever did, but please don't send us money. Please don't. I'll mention a charity at the end that you can send money to. But thank you. This is Bagueteria Boulevard. It was always opened. They always had a little window because you couldn't go inside. Starting tomorrow, you will be able to go inside. It's a Czech fast food we were always talking about. As you see, hotels are also preparing for reopening. They're opening their little restaurants and patios. And we keep on going. This is not a 2-hour live stream. Is it okay so far, Honziku?
It's great.
It's great, okay. We're passing a third trdelník stand that is open, believe it or not. I guess Czechs do like trdelníks in the end. And I really hope these guys will not be here. Oh, thank Lord. I don't want to get into Thai massages, but so let's just walk on. This is the narrow part of Karlova Street, ending up at the Charles Bridge. Once again, we're passing many of the tourist goods stores that most of them remained closed, even though they can be opened, and the reason is pretty obvious. Or maybe the Thai massages did get rid of their stuff here. It's kind of hard to talk about. I don't know what you saw, what you know from our show, but I'll just try to always give you a bit of context. Here the context is that it's ugly, but you know, some people just want to see the world burn. Here's a funny sign. It says, in Czech, it says, last chance to buy a drink for a low price, or for a bargain, I'd say. And it's funny because it has a double meaning. The guy, what he's aiming at is to tell you that the other places will be more expensive, which is actually not true. But the meaning that I see in it is that this is your last chance you can experience downtown Prague while sipping on gin and tonic for 60 crowns, which is like 2 euros, rum and coke for 2 euros, margarita for 2 euros, and that will never happen again. Dobrý den. Děkujem. We've done an episode about actually this building and a restaurant that was in it. It's finished. They shut down, so you may recognize this place. Now there's a bar owned by an American guy that I talked to a couple times. I think he can tune up his advertisement here on the street in the historical part of the city. But there's a great record shop as well. Keep on going. Are we fine, Honziku? We are live. You're watching a live stream. If you're watching on a Sunday afternoon, any Sunday afternoon, doesn't really matter.
It's not afternoon, though.
I mean, it's evening, yes. This is the only store that opened. I know the guy. He's always nice to me. I don't know if he's not there. We will do a Q&A at the end. Yes, we're getting to it. As soon as we hit middle of the bridge, we'll get right into it. I should cover my mouth now because there's people. Good, we're past it. And there's many foreigners, and many of them are expats, and I believe some even snuck through. We'll talk about the borders in a minute. What I was very surprised that these candy stores are opened. And I guess they go along with the trdelník places. They sell candy that's extremely overpriced, and I believe that the Czech tourists that shop in them simply think, oh, we're in Prague, so it has to be expensive. Well, they should watch our videos. Dobrý den. Here we go, we're getting to Křižovnické náměstí. You already have to push the buttons. The city actually changed it during the quarantine, during the pandemic times, when they would push automatically, but now you have to push it again. We are good to go in 3 seconds. It's hard to do live. No, that's okay. You can help me somehow. But this is a passage that we've been showing you multiple times with Honza. It's kind of hideous and ugly. It's about to change, and it was mostly stuff with like tourist souvenirs that were not really nice. It was dark. Some of the stores have ended, so we'll see how that will be hopefully nicer, because we're right by the Charles Bridge.
How about the scammer places?
Oh, and yes, we are actually, this is right here. I'm sorry if we back up a bit. Here's an exchange office. that was giving very bad rate, and they were actually tricking people into posting how much you can buy euro for, not get for a euro. So they were advertising the other way around, and they were just fined for that by the Czech National Bank. They got a fine of 200,000 crowns, which in a perspective of how much money they make is quite low in my opinion. But this was usually the place where the scammers would hang around and try to change money on the street. Obviously they're gone because they have nobody to change money to. And also this was a popular spot for guys with hop on hop off, luring people for the tours that are obviously also gone, because I cannot think of a Czech person who would actually have enough money to buy a 20 euro tour around Prague when they know they can use one of these, which is a Czech invention of a hop on hop off. It's called the tram. It's pretty good. And we're approaching the bridge. The towers are now opened. All the museums will reopen tomorrow. All the castles will reopen tomorrow. So that's why we're doing this live stream. Tomorrow is the largest wave of reopening things. Restaurants, bars, they will all have to close at 11 p.m., which is a trick, you know. You have to start drinking soon. Don't do that. But towers are open, museums are open, galleries will open. There will still be certain limitations to things, but you can look these things up at the government website. After this is over, we'll try to post some links in the description so you can look it up if you're going to be watching tomorrow or so. But borders. So borders is a big issue. When will they open? We cannot predict future. We obviously don't know. Do you want to hang around over there? We should. Alrighty. It's starting to rain. Whatever. We're not made from sugar. So we
also talk about.
Oh, you want me to talk about this? I cleaned it again. Once again, they were love locks because they, showed up. So we managed to clean it. But speaking of borders, as of right now, we are finally allowed to go out of the country, but depending on what the other country's rules are, of course. So if we want to go to Germany, Germany may have some other rules others than us. I was actually at the border yesterday and I saw people drive in and out. Sometimes it's that you have to then self-quarantine yourself if you go back, or you need test that you're negative. But I found a website where you can find all the different borders restrictions, and it's on European Union, European Commission. So if you Google search, what are the European Union rules of traveling, you'll look it up. Of course, in terms of intercontinental traveling, I'm sure that will still be trickier, and you may be able to find better information from resources you have than what I can find. I know the airlines are now opening and coming back to life. So I know KLM is running their line from Amsterdam. I know Paris and Frankfurt, I believe, are starting. I know Belarus is still running, and so on. But please don't ask us like specifics, like, hey, I'm supposed to travel on June 15th. I have my flight from here and here. We simply don't know. We would do the same thing as you would, and that means search for it. I hope this makes sense about the borders. I really don't know much because as of right now, I do not need to travel. We actually want to travel to Austria mid-June, because our bell, and if any of you know what I'm talking about right now, I love you, because thanks to you, we contributed to a new church bell, and it's supposed to be made in Innsbruck in mid-June, so we hope we can make it for the making of the bell. And that's all I guess had to say. The Lime scooters are gone, by the way. I took 3 out of the river. If anybody from Lime is watching, they're sitting in my garage. I'm willing to give them to you. Just buzz me or something. Tweet me, because they smell. I had to wash them, and it was a pain in the to get them out of the river. So I'll be more than happy, or we, both of us with Honza, will be more than happy to answer any question if there's any to your mind. Up your mind, in your mind.
Where the scammers operating?
Where the scammers operating? If they were, or where?
Where?
If they were operating during the lockdown, no. There were nobody. Oh, well, not the street scammers, but the exchange office that we've told you about multiple times. The chain that we always film about was actually operating in 2 branches, and in one of them we caught them as they were scamming a person. They actually cheated a guy, and we called police. He got his money back. You can watch it on the channel. Can you watch it on the channel? Yes, it's in the 2 videos back.
Are you a gamer? Do you play video games?
I'm not a gamer. Let's stick to Prague related questions, please.
Is the city expecting tourists now?
I cannot speak for the city if it's expecting tourists, but speaking of tourism, as of right now, I would say 90% of the people you saw on the street were tourists. They were Czech tourists mostly. So there are many, many, many Czech tourists. It's very, very strange to watch Czech tourists. Can I mention one more thing? See the tower at the other end? It's Malostranská věž, the other bridge tower, and there's a restaurant right beneath it. And I had a goulash and a beer for 139 crowns the goulash and 45 crowns for the beer. It was unbelievably cheap. That's cheaper than a McDonald's. Way cheaper than McDonald's. Hansik's going through your questions, so we'll try to answer a few more.
What's the first place you go after everything opens?
What's the first place we want to go after everything opens? Well, we really want to go to Austria for the bell making, and I believe we also have an Italy planned. Yes, Hansa is nodding.
We did, but it's canceled.
Okay. There's another hop-on, hop-off driving by right now.
So hard to go through the comments.
Hansik is struggling with going through the comments, as he is. I'm going to tell you that we're going through a dry season right now, so the water's really low. That's why you can spot the lime scooters in the river, and I'm going to get them with my hook.
What's the feeling when there are no tourists?
When there are no foreign tourists, what's the feeling? Once again, we have to sort of separate now foreign tourists and Czech tourists. We get many Czech tourists. It's unimaginable, undescribable. The city has changed so radically that you cannot imagine. Starting from the point that you can walk the way we just did, you can ride your bicycle those ways, you can sit in a restaurant, and you don't have to worry about paying your salary for the lunch. So these are the things that are bizarre. And they will eventually come back. We were sitting in a restaurant with my friends. We had meals, we had beers, and the total bill was 25 euros, let's call it. And I asked the guy, what would it be if it was normal times? And he said, around 100 euros. I was like, whoa. And then I said, will you go back with the prices? He goes, of course. And it's understandable. I mean, they have huge rents. I don't want to get into this economic stuff, but that's something that is really strange, to sit on Old Town Square and drink beer on the patio looking at the things. It was, at that moment, multiple emotions were going through my head, like, can I be here? Do I belong here? Will they kick me out? Can I sit here? It was kind of strange. Okay, Hans is nodding. Look, there's nobody here.
Where would you spend a holiday in Czech Republic except of Prague?
Anywhere. Any city has something to offer. Yeah. The question is, where would you spend holiday other than Prague in Czech Republic? We've made multiple videos. I don't want to repeat myself. Just now I was up north near a place called Děčín, D-E-C-I-N. So look up that area, not the city specifically, but there's many beautiful things around it. Yeah, go on, travel, discover. That's what also the Czech government or Czech tourism and these agencies are trying to tell Czechs, that they should travel around Czech Republic.
Will you write another book?
If we'll write another book, I hope so. We wrote a book, or it's more of tweets, as Hansa says, and pictures from Hansa and illustrations from Eliška, our friend. It's called Honest Guide, obviously, believe it or not. It's honest.blog, where you can look at it, and I hope we will write another book. Tweets, long tweets. Some people were ordering the book and they were saying, oh, finally some reading for the quarantine times. I was like, yeah, you can read the book in very short time.
Do you think Prague will ever become normal again?
If Prague will become normal again, the question is, what is normal? If you mean if there's going to be 10 million tourists back, I believe so. And I think it's going to come back very shortly. That's why I still try to enjoy these times. I'm not saying one is good, one is bad, but it's just two different times.
What about restaurants tomorrow? What will change?
Tomorrow restaurants will open. You will not be only able to sit outside, but you will be able to go inside. The tables will be separated a bit more, and there are certain rules to the masks. when you should wear them, how you should wear them. You'll see. I mean, if you're an expat living here, just kind of go with the crowd. If you see that people wear a mask, or if somebody tells you to wear a mask, you should wear a mask. Because there's so many different restrictions and rules that people just kind of try to remain cool. You will always have to, or not always, you will still have to wear a mask on public transport and inside buildings. So you can sip your goulash with a straw.
What does it mean, the title of the video, The Last Day of?
What does the title of the video mean? So I'll repeat now because I believe we're coming to an end here. The title, why we made this live video, is because today's the last day when some things were closed and the last day we had to wear masks in public. This doesn't mean the whole thing is over. I'm not a doctor, I'm not an expert, I do not understand this. I'm just bringing you the news of what's changing in Prague. So starting tomorrow, pretty much everything will open. There will be very little restrictions and you will not have to wear masks out in the public. So things are sort of getting back to normal. And in terms of, if you're curious about health and how many people are ill and so on, you can always look up the statistics. And we actually work for sz.cz, where you can look up the statistics and numbers. They're on the homepage where you can see how many people died, how many people are sick, and so on. It's kind of hard to talk for such a long time, just so you know. Do we want to show them the bridge before we end? All right, let's go up on the bridge.
Any more scam guides coming up soon?
I hope scam guides will come up soon. They're at it, or partially. Hey guys, do you want? Can I show you something? Look, love locks. It's a big topic for me. They even put them up on lamps. Somebody was telling me, like, why is it bad to put a love lock somewhere? I'm like, no, come on. So we're on the bridge. You can see that it's called Karlův most. Oh, I'm sorry, man. We can at least get to St. John Nepomuk. Oh, you know what will be a new thing when you come to Prague? The Mariánský slope. We should make a video about that. In the middle of Old Town Square, they're building up pole, and it will be finished by the time visitors will come to Prague. And it caused a big controversy, not big controversy, but some people wanted it, some didn't. We were somewhere in the middle with Honzik, I believe. I actually didn't ask Honza's opinion yet, but we will. I know the guy who's behind it, and I actually know the guy who made it, so we can easily make an interview with them. We're gonna run into a picture here. Sorry about that. Pardon. Actually, that was the very first time when you step into somebody's picture. Dobrý den. You don't have to say sorry about that, but you just say pardon, and you can when somebody sees you, you say dobrý den instead of hello.
Is Kuchyň open again?
Yes, Kuchyň is opened. I'm sorry, I got so distracted by what they were doing, like a quiz about Prague. This is really funny. Kuchyň is a restaurant up at the castle, and it was the very first restaurant that announced its closure. And they actually changed their mind or changed some things, and they reopened. It's a beautiful restaurant with amazing views, and I would say because of us, prove us wrong, they put the price of the beer back down to 49 crowns. They went slightly above 50, and we were there with Honza filming about them reopening. And we said, you know, we think you should really, if you want to bring Czechs and locals back to this pub, you should go back to 49 crowns. And the guy was standing there, he was like, I was just about to write it on the board. Yeah, okay, I'll go with 49. If anybody from the restaurant sees this, we're huge fans of yours and we love you guys.
Honest guy, keeping prices of the beer down.
Honest guy keeping prices of the beer down. That's exactly right. This guy's mad, but he has a volleyball. Maybe he's going from like a playground. I actually had a plan that I can probably publish now. I was about to sleep on the Charles Bridge. I really wanted to do it because it was so empty. And I was thinking, like, this is the only chance to do it now. But then I changed my mind, and now there's too many people. Not. Yeah, right, yeah. This is so funny how you get used to things fast. Like, you get used to this being completely empty, that now this is like crowded to me. You know what I mean? Like when it will get to normal state, when this will just be full of people, we will be like, oh man. Yeah, I guess that's it. We'll end by the honest lamp. Yeah, I'm sorry, we should do that. Dobrý den. This is so nice. When there were the first days and I was walking across the bridge, I would always say dobrý den to everyone. Be like, dobrý den. And people are like, oh, dobrý den, hello. This is like, you could never do that before. See, as I told you, riding on the bicycles. So here we are at the famous Honest Lamp. Maybe the cause of the spread of the disease, who knows? But let's not touch it just yet. We will make sure they clean it up. But that's our Honest Lamp that if you touch, you'll get wealth and fortune. But as of right now, it's just enough to touch it virtually. And right next to it is St. John Nepomuk. And if I may show you, when we were talking about the bell that we collected money for that is being made now in Innsbruck, it will actually have this cross on it. So we took a picture of it, I measured it with a meter, and it's going to have this cross on it and St. John of Nepomuk because it will be named after him.
So the empty Charles Bridge in 1981 the last time.
1981, you were here, somebody was here and saw the empty Charles Bridge. Well, you can see it empty every day if you wake up early in the morning. As I've mentioned many times, you don't need a pandemic for it. But now it's still pretty chill. And I'm very much looking forward to finish the walk now with Hamza and get ourselves some cold treat, lemonade. Lemonade from Pilsen. Thank you very much that you've tuned in. This was one of our live videos. We've done a few. If you want to stay up to date with us and not only watch us on YouTube, we both have Instagrams, Honza Mikulka and Janek Rubesh. And you can also obviously follow Real Honest Guide on Instagram. And we have a Twitter too. I sometimes tweet. So there is where we keep live updates. Thank you very much for watching. You can subscribe to this channel. If you just tuned in and watching this for the very first time, which I cannot imagine, you can watch some other stuff that we do. Usually it's more fun than this. And I should just end now. Thank you very much. And if there's somebody who knows, yeah, thank you very much.
I think that everyone deserves a check word at the end.
Everyone deserves a check word at the end, of course. And now you will see live how much struggle it is to come up with a check word at the end of every episode. So today's check word at the end of the episode is Západ slunce, sunset. Západ slunce. Slunce is the sun, Západ is west, or if something is like falling down. So Západ slunce, sunset. Thank you very much.